welcome back to the final day of
October.
Yes! Today we are going to be attempting a gingerbread house completely made out of soap. I had to have Caleb's help for this. It was way too large an undertaking for me to do by myself, but we really hope you enjoy. Okay, so the first thing I'm showing you here are the two little silicone kind of like tray molds that I have for the gingerbread house. Now, I got these at Half Price Bookstore 2 years ago, but I'm gonna go ahead and leave you a link to something either exactly the same or similar that you can buy online. They're pretty thin. I'm hoping that once I put the frosting in between the seams here when I'm assembling, that it's actually going to be stable enough to stay together, but part of this is sort of just an experiment as well, so we'll see. I have here 32 ounces of melted oil, so 2 pounds, and then I have my lye water solution. This is the same recipe that I use for all of my soaps. It's pretty bubbly and it gets pretty hard and is vegan friendly. Because the whole soap is going to be the exact same color, I am adding some Mocha brown directly into the oils, which is something I scarcely ever do. And then also directly into the oils, I'm going to add 2 ounces of this Gingersnap Cookies fragrance oil. It's from Crafter's Choice, which is the company from Wholesale Supplies Plus. It smells really good, and it doesn't do anything funny to your soap batter. No acceleration, no ricing. It does discolor because of the vanilla, but that's okay because gingerbread houses are brown. I'm now going to blend this up on low real quick just to get the fragrance oil fully incorporated and all of that mica completely dispersed. I'm now going to add my lye water down the stick blender here. Gonna scrapey the sides of this container here directly into the oils. And now we're going to blend this up until a very thin trace has achieved. That way we can pour it very smoothly into our molds. Okay, a very thin trace is now achieved, so I'm going to move this out of the way. We're gonna bring these molds here. I really hope I have enough. I judged that 2 pounds would be enough, but we'll see if I was correct. I'm starting to feel not so good about it. We at least need the door, so that's gonna have to be here. I'm not gonna make the little gingerbread man that goes with it. There's no need for that. I'm gonna try to tap this down a little bit so that it's not all pooled up in the middle. The inside, which is what you're looking at right now, doesn't really matter that much because you're not gonna be able to see it. It's gonna be facing the inside of the house. But we do need to make sure that all of the edges have been completely covered because that absolutely will show up since that's the outside of the house. Now, it really doesn't matter if the edges are completely uneven because after I unmold this, I'm gonna take a little paring knife and kind of clean up the edges anyway. So it doesn't matter, you know, see, I'm completely going over the sides here. But like I said, it's much more important to have those corners completely filled up. And then we're gonna let them sit for 24 to 48 hours so that they get completely hard. And then we'll unmold them and start cleaning up the soaps a little bit. Okay, so I waited quite a while to unmold the soap, and then once I unmolded it, I cut away all of the bad pieces on the edges and on the backs of the gingerbread pieces. So this is kind of what it looks like after it's been sitting for about 2 or 3 days, just long enough for it to kind of harden up so that once I pipe on it and try to assemble it, the soap won't bend or get smeary or anything like that. So let's start piping the pieces. So I'm not entirely sure what consistency I should wait to let the piping set up to. So I'm gonna try to start with the piping being a little thinner than usual, maybe sort of the same consistency as a medium icing thickness. Like if you're doing royal icing, if you let it sit to like a medium, like flooding, I think it's called, thickness. That's about how thick the soap is. Before I pipe, I am gonna spritz it with 91% rubbing alcohol. This is just gonna help it adhere to the sides a little bit better. I really hope it stays. Okay, never mind, that is way too runny. I'm gonna have to wait a little while longer for this to set up. But let me tell you a lovely thing about this is that I can simply pick it up and wipe it off because the soap at the bottom is completely hard already. So that is something that's gonna be pretty nice about this project, is that I can just wipe up my mistakes. Okay, so this is definitely like the most difficult piping thing I've ever done in my life. And my piping is like rock hard right now. I'm literally squeezing as hard as I can. But this is what it ended up looking like. I did not have enough time to move the camera around. So I use this, this tip that I'm using right now is from the Royalty Soaps piping set. And then the other little tip is just a random Atico tip that I can leave down below. But yeah, like I said, it was madness trying to get this accomplished. I didn't even get to do the original design I had in mind because it was just setting up like crazy. So I'm gonna put the last couple of dots on here, and then I'm gonna spritz all this with rubbing alcohol. I am praying that this stays on, and then I'm gonna let it all sit for about 18 to 24 hours, and then we will come back with a new set of piping and we'll attempt to stick it all together. Okay, so it has been a couple of days and the piping has definitely set up on our little gingerbread pieces here. Set up, I mean, it's completely hard. So now we're going to mix up about a pound or so of the Royalty Soaps piping recipe, or my frosting recipe, so that we can glue this together. I'm going to glue it to this piece of cardboard because otherwise I don't think this is going to work. Yeah! Check it out! Okay, so then the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put like these little mica things right here so that it'll kind of hold it in place while it dries, because I'm really worried it's going to fall down. And then I'm going to put some piping up here on the sides, just like this, all the way up. Just going to kind of glue it together again with the other one, which I think we'll put this one on the side here. So I've got to put some piping on the bottom of this. Any extra that I have left over that kind of shows on the other side, I'll probably just wipe it off. You know what? Let me put some on this side too, because why not? Again, with soap, it's a lot easier because you can just wipe it off. Oh, all right. This is already the most wonderful thing I've ever seen. Yeah, Caleb, get those dangerous angles.
You know, I go where the story is.
Okay, well that's good. So you're just gonna put it like this on the inside. If you have a piece you're gluing it to. And because it is soap, I can move it around a little bit. Okay, so now we have this back part. I'm putting a little less on this because I kind of put a lot on those sides. It's working, it's working. I'm so delighted. Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, all right, this is good. This is really good. I am super concerned about the top, but this is good. Then I'm gonna turn this slightly, which I can do because we put it on this cardboard, and if anyone else is gonna make this out of soap, highly recommend that cardboard. So I'm gonna do the same with the back here, just reinforce the back with some more piping, because again, you can't see that, so it doesn't really matter. So now, I'm going to put some piping on the outside. I'm making sure this actually looks kind of good. Now for the frightening part. Let me just look and see how I'm going to see, because these are thick. Like, they're heavy. Which I'm just like, this is not a good idea to put this on. I feel like it's gonna slide right off. Yeah, I think I'll leave a little gap at the top, because then I can fill that up with icing. Piping is setting up, so we're putting the roof on. If you're doing this, I would not recommend this for other people who are trying to do this like super well, but I have waited till my piping has gotten really, really, really thick, and hopefully it'll be strong enough to hold this in place. Oh gee, okay. I'm gonna kind of squish it down. Oh my gosh, I think it might actually, maybe. Oh, maybe not. I'm trying to like move my hand away and it's like, it's sliding. Oh, it's sliding. We've got to find something to prop it up. Okay. Is that gonna work? Now what's gonna prop the cup up?
Wait.
You're just gonna stand there for hours. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we found a solution. We put a cup here and then put a fragrance oil bottle there. It won't take very long for that to dry. On top, this piping does set up really, really fast, so I'm not really worried about it per se, but we did need to find a solution to at least assist it there at the beginning. So now we're gonna put the other bit on, and my piping is so thick. Look at my piping bag. I'm like, it's like stretched to the max.
Yeah, that's no good.
Hopefully the piping bag doesn't explode. And I saved the thickest one for last. Oh my gosh. What? Miracle! Christ is averted. Okay.
Beautiful.
Oh, thank you. I worked hard on it. Okay, let's put my little gumdrops on top. So cute. I'm actually really happy now that we have the roof on, and then I can kind of squish. The piping is a little uneven here, see, but I can kind of squish it down like this, and then it looks perfect.
So we messed up the piping that's on the front of the house.
What? Oh, I've been doing the back the whole time. Is it all messed up, really? Like,
No.
can it be wiped off, you think?
No, it just looks worse, that's all.
I think this looks awesome. Like, I feel like it could do better. I could do better now that I've done it before, but I still think it looks awesome.
So how are we comfortably gonna put the door on now that you have to get around over here? Because we can't pivot the thing now because we have supports set up holding the ceiling in place.
Why are you asking me all these frustrating questions? All right, so I have the door and I've put piping on it. So let's see if I can just squeeze it. Yeah. Oh, let's see. This door opens from the wrong way. Yes. 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 I'm so happy. It looks so good, except for this part right here, which sucks. Okay, so I stuck my piping tip in a sandwich bag because the other one burst, and it's actually kind of working. So I am essentially just cleaning up the edges here and trying to make it look a little bit nicer. See, that looks better, in my opinion, than having those raw edges. So I'm just gonna put it on this side too. That way any smearing is kind of covered up. And any little bits like that, I'm just gonna clean up with either a toothpick or a Q-tip. And after all was said and done, we added a little bit of glitter on here, and my magnum opus of piping is complete. I am so happy with this. Today is Christmas Eve, so I'm going to take this to my parents' house where we're going for Christmas and give it to them as a little Christmas present. I piped 2017 down here to commemorate the entire year, and I am just delighted with the outcome. Thanks you guys so much for watching the 12 days of Soapmas. We really appreciate it. This year has been absolutely fantastic, and we're really happy that you guys are a part of our lives and allow us to do what we do every day. It's really fantastic. So thanks so much. We hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you guys in 2018. Bye!